I'm here with Congressman Mike Thompson, my colleague from Northern California. He's a lifelong responsible gun owner, hunter, combat veteran, and the leader of the Gun Violence Task Force in the House, but also someone who's worked with me on the Equal Access to Victims of Gun Violence Act, which will strip away the immunity that gun manufacturers have in America. And Mike, I was hoping we could talk about why this is so important and why it's so different than what any other manufacturer in America gets.
Absolutely. Well, first, thanks for inviting me to meet with you. It's an honor to co-author your legislation, the PLACA bill. And from my perspective, this was a good idea that went south. The idea was to prevent frivolous lawsuits against gun manufacturers. It's turned into something that responsible gun manufacturers and dealers don't need, and legislation that irresponsible gun dealers and manufacturers can hide behind. And it's put our communities at risk. It's not a good law. It needs to be repealed.
We're a country where you're going to take your kids hunting, you're going to shoot for sport, you should be able to protect yourself in your home, but we can still keep the most dangerous weapons out of the hands of the most dangerous people. And this legislation would essentially put gun manufacturers, in the same category as car manufacturers, where you can't bring frivolous lawsuits against them, but if they are responsible, if they are liable, that they don't get any special carve out. And I think that will go a long way to increasing, the responsibility that gun manufacturers have to protect our communities and hopefully reduce overall unnecessary gun deaths in America.
I agree with you 100%. Gun manufacturers and gun dealers will be responsible, and if they're not, they'll be held accountable through our judicial system.
That's right, and I'll just leave you with this. I recently talked to a substitute teacher who told me she was in a new classroom, and a little boy came up to her in the classroom and he said to her, "Do you know where to put us?" And she was a little surprised and didn't know what he was talking about. And she said, "Well, what do you mean?" And he said, "Well, our regular teacher, she knows where to put us if there's a shooting in the classroom. Have you been told where to put us?" As a parent, it's just horrifying that our kids are still thinking about this. And this piece of legislation, I think, is a cornerstone to reducing gun violence deaths in America. It's not going to reduce every gun violence death, but it will go a long way to bringing accountability on this issue. So Congressman Mike Thompson, the leader in the House on the gun safety effort to end gun violence in America, and a partner with me to bring more accountability and to get rid of this almost unlimited immunity that gun manufacturers have. Thanks, pal.
Thank you.
Of course.